James 2:18, let's look at it right here. But someone will say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. Let's look at that again, okay? And I'm going to try to make this make sense. Because we read things and we go, wow, I'm not grasping that. But someone will say, you have faith. How many say, I have faith? Okay, so without faith, it's impossible to please God. You can't come to the Father unless you have faith. So if you say, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, you have to have faith. Because you haven't seen him. All you have is the Bible that tells you about him. So you have faith and I have works. But you say, show me your faith without your works and I will show you my faith by my works. So we have always, pretty much since the girls, our daughters were little, the one that led a minute ago, that's our youngest daughter, the one that was talking with the poofy hair, talking about humidity, which is hilarious. That's our oldest daughter. And so we've always tried to have fun, and we had a trampoline. And I learned at a young age to do backflips and front flips, and I know it's dangerous, but I wanted to teach them. So I got on the trampoline with them, and I would take their shirt right here, and I would twist it up. And I said, now I'm going to teach you how to do a backflip. A backflip's easier for me than the front flip. And I would tell them, now, when you get ready to jump and go back, I'll hold your shirt, I got you. But keep your chin back because your body's going to follow your chin. If you turn to look, your body's going to do that. Okay? Some of you are going to try this when you get home. Your body's going to follow your chin, so keep your head like that. And now I'm going to hold your shirt, and we're going to start jumping together on a count of 3. I want you to go. And I'd grab their legs, and I'd say, now, do you trust me? Yes, Daddy. Yes. Then do a backflip. Do what I'm telling you. No, I can't. Then you don't trust me. Because I'm telling you, I'm not going to let you get hurt. Do you have faith in me that I'm going to help you do this backflip? Yes, Daddy. Then do the backflip. If you don't do the backflip, if you don't even try, you don't have faith in me as your father. Makes sense? How many have had a trust fall? Anybody ever done a trust fall? Where you stand like this and someone says, now I'm going to catch you. Do you have faith in me? Yes. Prove it by falling back and letting me catch you. If you don't fall back and let me catch you, then you're saying I don't have faith in what you just said to me. Make sense? So when we hear the word of God and what he says, and he says, now listen, step out on what I say and do what I say. That's saying to the Lord, okay, I'm stepping out and I'm going to show you that I have faith in you by doing a work. Got it? Okay, let's look at James 2:15. I know I'm kind of jumping in my scriptures, but I want you to see this because we're in the book of James, and man, I love this. And just so you'll know, next week we're going to talk about the tongue. So you might want to stay home. If a brother or sister is naked, now look, there's nobody running around naked. I've seen it in foreign countries, but I don't see it here. So it doesn't mean naked. It means they need clothing. And destitute of daily food. So basically, if you see a person and they're in need, and one of you says to them, depart in peace, be warmed and filled, but you do not give them the things of which they have need for the body, what does it profit? Thus also faith by itself, if it doesn't have works, is dead. All right, so what we just read, because we talked last week, be doers of the word, James 1:23. Be doers of the word and not hearers only, because if you do, God's going to bless what you do, but if you don't, you are deceived. So he says, if you see a person that's hungry or naked, they need clothing, and you go, well, brother, God bless you. Good luck with your hopes and dreams. I hope everything's great for you. And you don't give them anything? You've done nothing but pat them on the back and send them down the road the same way they were. Faith without works, it's dead. Anybody with me? Look at this point. Helping those in need is a mandate of the Father, and we just read it. Boy, it's quiet right now. Helping people in need is a mandate of the Father. I'll give you more scripture because we're in the book of James, and this whole chapter of chapter 2 is about this. Faith is, I believe you, Father. Works is doing what he says to do. Let's look at James 2:20 again. Do you know, or do you want to know, O foolish man, that faith without works is dead? Boy, it's through this whole chapter. I feel so encouraged. Faith without works is dead. And you'll see some of us in purple shirts today. And on the back, it says, let's do that together as a group, okay? Look on the screen if you can't see my back. On the back of my shirt, it says, yeah. You ever been in a store and there's a store around here, and I don't go there anymore because I see people, I know they work there, and I go, hey, like, you know, you see them and they're walking away and you're chasing them down like, I need help. Hey, and you go, hey, can you tell me where the shotgun shells are? This isn't my area. You'll have to walk over there and try to find somebody and no one's ever there, right? Well, why are you working here? Is your job not to help me? Right? If I have this on the back of my shirt and you come up and you say, hey, your shirt says I can help. Your shirt says I can help. And I go, sorry, I can't help you. How many think I should take the shirt off then? How many think, take the shirt off, Doug, because it says I can help, but you aren't helping. You're deceiving people. Christ says, Jesus says, the Father says, through James who's writing this, if you see somebody destitute or naked or hungry, I'm telling you to feed them. I'm not asking, I'm telling you to feed them. Because you said, I'm a child of God and I have faith in you. So stop talking faith and not doing what I tell you to do. Let me put this up here again for all of us who won't get this. Put the next thing up. I hope we put up or shut up. Do I seem angry? Do I seem angry? I'm not angry, okay? I think it's time for the Church of Jesus Christ to do what we say we're called to do. Right. It's time. Yeah. And boy, I'm preaching to the choir because you guys are bringing food and doing stuff. But I want you to get this. Let's look at James. Let's go back now. I'm jumping all over the book of James. James 1:27. Now look at this. Grasp this. And I'm going to explain this. Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their trouble and to keep yourself unspotted from the world. Okay, so I want to explain this because we go, well, I don't know any widows and any orphans. Well, I do. There's widows in our church. And there are orphans in our church. There are orphans in our church. Can I put a little statement that I wrote this week? I want to put the next statement up there for me, guys. There are spouses and children that are orphaned and widows, and their spouses or parents are still alive. Because we think, well, they have to be dead for them to be orphaned and to be widowed. No. There are children who have parents who are still alive, but they're orphaned. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? So we're not exempt. Well, I don't know anybody who doesn't have parents, and I don't know anybody, a man or a woman who lost their, I don't know any of the, oh no, yeah, you do. They're walking around everywhere. widowed and orphaned because they've been abandoned by a person who's alive. You with me? I went to Atlanta this week. I was with, there were 16 of us, and we worked very hard down there in Atlanta. I mean, it's probably one of the hardest weeks I've worked in Atlanta. And being around women who've been rescued from the streets, we happened to be in a service with them and listening to their testimonies of them being sex trafficked. How could that happen? And many of their parents are the ones who did it to them. They're orphaned. And we're sitting there hearing there's little kids who are there who have been abandoned by parents. Their parents are alive, but they are orphaned. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Well, it's not just Atlanta. It's not just Haiti. It's not just over the Rhine. It's not just LA. It's in the tri-state right here where we're sitting. You guys hearing me? Yeah. Okay, so orphaned. Here's an orphan. Not supported or funded, not part of a system, isolated or abandoned. So James 2:14. What does it profit, my brethren, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can faith save him? What does it profit if someone says, I have faith but I don't have works? Okay. Now I'm going to put a statement up here, and I want you to get this. Okay. Works have nothing to do with salvation. And there's a scripture that says, by faith are you saved through grace, not of works. Amen. Well, I can be more saved if I go to aisle 14 at Kroger, where I was this morning, and another guy from the church, we're standing there like, I'm trying to figure prices out so I can get more bang for my buck. I should have went, I'm not a member of Costco. I could have got bigger boxes. I'm just standing there looking. Well, shoot, if I spend $30, I'm more saved. You know what? I'll get more saved and spend $40. I'll get more saved and spend $50. Now, you aren't more saved, born again. You aren't closer to God because you spent more money. Faith has nothing to do with salvation. Works have nothing to do with salvation. Sorry, works, but they have everything to do with eternity. What's that mean? What's that mean? It means when I give to people, which this food today, and highlighter coming up, this food today that you're giving, we want 55,000 food items. Isn't it cool that we're in the book of James and this chapter was my next step? Isn't that cool? Fell on this Sunday. Isn't that pretty awesome? Yeah. We're going to distribute it. And until December, any child in need is going to be sent home in the weekend with a bag of food so they can eat over the weekend. Yeah. So we as believers, let our light so shine so that people will see our good works and do what? Give glory to God the Father. Not us. Don't thank me. Thank God, because he's the one who told us to do it. Okay. We don't give so that we feel better about ourselves. Put that up. Oh, there it is. We don't give so that we feel better about ourselves. Listen, we give so people's needs are met, and through us, they see God. So now, I know I've done this. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I go places and I see people holding signs up, will work for food or need help or, homeless, or you've seen it, right? Has anybody seen that? Go to a Reds game and you'll see it. I went to a Braves game. Well, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. And we go, get a job. I've done it. Get a job. Now, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand. I'm just going to tell you. I thought it. Get a job. Get a job. Well, man, there are people who've hit hard times, and we're not the judge of who receives the money or not. Look, it's okay. If I got $1 in my pocket, throw it in the bucket. Well, they'll just go down the street and smoke it. You don't know that. Drink it. You guys with me? Well, now it's really getting quiet because we've all thought that. Look, God is the judge of who receives our help, not us. We only obey when he calls. Okay, so I want to show you 2 ways of giving, and I want you to see this. You can give directly. You can give directly. I watched my dad do this multitudes of times. He never talked about it. Never. Well, my dad was such a giver, and I watched him. I watched him give and give and give and give. You've heard me tell stories about driving up to houses, and he'd get out and take a bag of something, and a lady would hug him, and he'd come back in the car. And what'd you just do, Dad? Never mind. It's okay. And I watched him, and I watched him, and I watched him give directly, and give directly to me. I watched him. I watched him do it, and I'm like, I want to be like that. So I know it sounds like a commercial, but give directly. So our goal is 55,000 food items. So I went and I was looking at aisle 14, and I went on a couple aisles. Aisle 14, I think aisle 14 might have been the mac and cheese. I don't remember. And I'm figuring up, and I'm buying boxes of 12s and going, I want to be a part. I don't even know how many I purchased. I just was grabbing and putting them in, because I want to be a part of this. And so I brought them, and no one's here yet, and I put them out in the foyer. But we want 55,000 food items till December, and guess what? We're doing it again in December. Okay? I didn't break the bank. It didn't break the bank on me when I just did what I did. I didn't spend a ton of money, I'm telling you. And I brought in a bunch of food. So here's a little statement that the Lord, it's not real brilliant, but the Lord gave. If everyone does a little, it becomes a lot. You understand? If everyone does a little, 55,000 food items, if 1,000 people give 55, that's 55,000. If 1,500 people give 37, that's 55,000. If 2,000 people give 28 items, that's 55,000. So if you sit there and say, I'm not going to do it, I don't care if you buy one cracker, one single, I want you to do it. Do you hear me? Go spend $1. If that's all you have, spend that $1 and give so that we can get. So you can give directly. You know what? This is really cool. And do our guests have the microphone? Yeah. Come on up, guys. These are 3 representatives from the school. And I'm so excited. We talked in the back, and I know you're not nervous. You're not nervous, are you? Come on up here. Never. Are you a little nervous?
No, I'm good.
No, you good? Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Okay, I knew. I just made you more nervous. You know what our staff says? Don't ask people if they're nervous. You make them more nervous. So, sorry. Harrison Elementary.
Harrison Elementary.
Tell what this means.
Well, first of all, just hearing the word works and being out there taking pictures this morning, that's what you guys did. I have students, Harrison Elementary basically is about 46% free and reduced lunch. And my students come every morning religiously to have breakfast. They have lunch with us, and then they go home, and they don't know who's going to be there, if there's going to be food there, or if there's even going to be somewhere there to be. And so on Fridays, about 35 of my students go home with what we call a snack pack. And that's what you guys are helping us with. That Life Springs actually helps pack the items that are inside there. And the students come to my counselor's office, and it's pretty discreetly. They have a backpack. It's called the Snack Pack program. And they have food for the weekend. And to see those students every Friday know when they're going home to their houses, whatever that may be, that they're going to have food to eat. And a lot of you might think, summertime is a wonderful time of the year, or Christmas break. Everybody looks forward to Christmas break time. That is a scary time for my students. because not only are they just going over a weekend now, they've got 2 weeks. They might have a whole week that, once again, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're eating and who's going to be there along the way. So on behalf of Miamitown, we're going to be here today, but the principal's out of town right now, and the person who is going to be here to talk with them, the generosity and what you have done. And when I heard this is happening in December again, it just gave me chills, because to see the generosity of what just one group of people have been able to bring into here is a wonderful thing. So on behalf of Harrison Elementary, I'm Ron Mangus. I'm the building principal. I've been in the district for 25 years. I've actually taught some of you that are in here, your children.
Yeah.
So,
are you in counseling?
I think they should be in counseling along the way. But I'm going to turn it over to the principal at Crosby Elementary.
Real quickly, Angela said she was nervous, but I do want to introduce her. I'm not going to make her talk too much, but she is solely responsible for starting our backpack program at Crosby Elementary, which is run exactly. It is run pretty much the same way as what Mr. Mangus was describing at Harrison Elementary. She started this program 5 years ago, and she literally went out on her own collecting donations and was able to get enough food in our pantry to feed 18 students every Friday. And over those 5 years, this program has grown, and people like you have reached out to us, and we are now sending 50 of those backpacks home every Friday. Do we have time? I want to say, okay. I just want to give you a little bit of background with Crosby. We really, really appreciate this more than you can ever know. If you drive out New Haven Road and see subdivisions like Parks of Whitewater, Whitewater Trails, Fort Scott, you're seeing $250,000, $300,000 homes, and a lot of people assume that kids at Crosby Elementary don't need this help. We are only 26% free and reduced lunch, but I know those kids wake up, that 26%, and they don't realize that they're a statistic. They don't realize that they're only 26%. All they realize is that they're hungry, just like the kids that Ron talked about at Harrison Elementary, and they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And unfortunately, because of that statistic, we don't always get as much help as some of the other schools do from the state for certain programs and things like that, because they assume with that number being as low as it is that we don't need that help. And I'm here to tell you that I watch 50 kids go home every Friday with a backpack, and they do need that help. And we appreciate everything you're doing. It really does make the difference of whether or not those students are going hungry on Saturdays and Sundays or Christmas break, summer break, like Mr. Mangus mentioned. So we just can't thank you enough, and we appreciate you inviting us here today to share our story. Thank you.
Thanks. You want to say something?
I'm good.
Oh, come on. Hey.
I'm good. Thank you.
I won't make you say anything. But it helps you, right, what we're doing?
Oh my gosh. It's like,
okay.
It's awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh.
I wasn't supposed to come up right now, but I wanted to just tell you one thing that Mr. Mangus just said. As I was meeting with the volunteers that are heading up our Fill the Truck today, we've been meeting for months, and one of the visions, I'm just going to tell you this, and we'll just pray and trust God for it. As we were meeting with these girls, and they're like, man, I know kids go hungry over the summer. What do those kids do? Mr. Mangus, just like you were saying, and like, I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do. But one of the visions we have is to continue this. So we're going to do this again at Christmas time to get these kids through the end of the school year. What I would love to see happen is for us to be able to purchase a food truck, a mobile vehicle that can drive around once a week to every single one of these neighborhoods where these kids live. And there's a meeting time, like at 12 o'clock on Friday, they come out and they get their food packs to last them through the week. That's just a little vision that I believe this church can do if we pull together and if that's what God wants us to do. And we have volunteers to handle it. But that's another little piece. And I want to just fill you on where we are with our count right now. We could put that count up. Right now we're at 18,868 items. So we are definitely... We're not quite halfway there, but we're almost there, and that gets one entire school is covered, and then over into, I think one school needed 10,000, actually 2 schools are covered. So anyway, we're getting there, guys. This is awesome, and there's a lot more that we can do for our community, and we want to just keep doing it. So thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. And I know the rain hit a little bit go to Kroger. Leave here, go to Kroger, Rimke Biggs, okay? Okay? Okay, let's do this. So, all right, you can give indirectly. Let me just show you, when you put money in that box, what we do. Our church believes in giving as well, so you can give indirectly. If you put money in that box, here's where we give to. Ecuador, in his presence, was Jackie Stradoff. Haiti, Nicaragua, Africa, Surge, which plants churches. China, North Africa, NAME, National Association of Marriage Enrichment, Women of Alabaster, Celebrate Recovery, Christ Loving Hands, and Young Life. I think that's it. Yes, okay. You want to know how much that number is? I had somebody give me the numbers. This is how much out of what you give, we give a month to those ministries, $15,539. So out of that, Zach and Anna, raise your hands. We support them out of that. You give, you put it in the box. Zach and Anna are doing ministry. And I'm not going to put them on the spot, but I think ours is right up there at the top, right? And we want that. And we believe in them. And what they're doing in ministry is awesome. And we want to support them. So we put up or we shut up. So not in that number in 2 weeks is Highlighter, which it used to cost about $30,000. Right now, I think it's about $20,000 we spend in 2 weeks to give children backpacks and feed them, and they jump around on jump things and get their hair cut. Listen, Lisa just made a thing for hairdressers. Get in here and cut kids' hair. Look, we had a guy say, I'll help. Man, he cut part of a kid's ear off. We don't want that. We don't want that. I mean, nicked his ear. He's bleeding. He didn't cut the whole thing off. He didn't, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield bite his ear off. But he cut his ear, and I'm like, man, we can't have that. We need hairdressers. So, quick video for Highlighter, and then we'll close, okay? Quick video, Highlighter video, and then let's close.
los años 1600, cuando el tirano mandó las calles de Cartagena, aquella historia vivió. Cuando aquí llegaban esos negreros africanos en cadenas, besaban mi tierra, esclavitud perpetua.
We did it in Spanish because it says, if you aren't a part of Highlighter, may the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your bed. That's what that said. You guys are all like, That's what that said. If you aren't a part of Highlighter, it's not really, it says something else. But okay, let me put this up. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. We have only today. Let us begin. Mother Teresa. Are you ready to help this community, guys? Huh? Let's stand on our feet. Come on. Let's stand on our feet. Altar workers, come. If you need prayer this morning, we want to pray for you. I want our 3 representatives of the school, if you would go out to the exit, there's the glass area. I want you to thank them for what they're doing. They're on the front line. Gang, I'm going back to Kroger if we don't reach 55,000. We're going to have 55,000 food items. If you didn't bring anything, bolt to Kroger. Run to Rimke Biggs. Get the food item and let's feed children, okay? How many think this makes God smile? Yes, I know it does. I know it does.